In today's episode, we talk about power washing. So, you see a lot of different guys out there, different methods. You have the guy show up with the garden hose nozzle. You've got the guy show up with the Costco kind of electric, sort of deal. And then you've got the companies that roll out there with the big gas-powered kind of machines. Is there really a difference in a residential application?
Yeah, the electric pressure washers are more for your homeowners. Those are more for your small jobs, washing the car, something along those lines. Not designed to clean a house. You can clean small areas, but what you don't get is you do not get the PSI that we look for to remove the dirt from the house, and you don't have the volume of water coming through those as well.
So PSI, what is that for the people who don't know what
it's the amount of pressure of the water when it comes out and it's hitting the surface. And what we're attempting to do by pressure wash is, as film deteriorates, the resins tend to break down a little bit. And what we want to do is we want to clean that surface so it's ready to accept its new coat of paint. With our climate being so dry, we have a lot of dirt that sticks to the houses. We've seen these storms come in, and
yeah,
you've seen your pool afterwards.
100%.
So that's on your house now.
Okay.
So we want to remove that. What that dirt does is it creates what we call a bond breaker. So if you paint over a surface that's dirty, it's going to stick to that dirt and it's not going to stick to the house. So we want to clean that surface and make sure that it's ready to accept a product. We typically recommend about 2,800 to 3,300 PSI. In some cases, we don't want to go too high on the PSI because we could actually damage wood and stuff like that with it. So that's why we keep right at the 33. We can go all the way up to 4,500, but at that point, you're using those to remove paint from like concrete surfaces, metal surfaces, and stuff along those lines.
So people add stuff. They say they add like bleach or some other cleaners into.
That's a good question.
Is that necessary? Does that help?
Not typically on like a residential application. A lot of times when we add degreasers and stuff like that, it's more for industrial applications. We want to be sure that we're removing all oils and stuff like that from metals, so we don't have any surface contaminants on real smooth surfaces. So not typically necessary for what we do. If we have a problem area, we can address that as we have those areas, but not typically necessary.
What does it mean to them? So you got a guy out and he's hosing your house down. Hey, it looks pretty clean, but what does that pressure washer actually achieve?
Well, again, back to the PSI, we're really getting that pressure that's going to remove some of the stuck-on dirt. I mean, that stuff gets baked on. We have a rainstorm come in with dirt and water, and then the sun, shines on it. That gets into the paint film, so we really want to remove that. When we're working with just a garden hose.
So that's interesting. So you're talking about, so I picture like so it's like a caked on dirt film.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, how often do we paint our houses? At least every 5 years. But yeah, the volume of a garden hose, you get a volume of water out, but you don't get the pressure. So you do get, a lot of water running down the side of the house, but you may not be rinsing off a lot of dirt. Another thing that we typically like to do when pressure washing, like to try to start at the bottom and work down. That way we're continuously washing that dirt down.
I guess, what's the minimum PSI that somebody really needs to use?
I think 2,800 PSI is probably the minimum, right around there. I think, 32 is probably just about perfect. If we go much more above the 32 PSI, if we get too close to the surface with the wrong nozzle size, then it can damage the wood.
Okay.
And we have to be careful. But of course, we have trained experts that do this every day, so
okay.
They know what they're working with.
I'd like to thank you guys so much for joining us. Please go ahead and leave your comments, questions. We'll get back to you guys next week when we've got our next episode.